Today our goal is to simplify algebraic fractions that involve algebraic expressions that involve algebraic fractions separated by multiplication and division symbols. That's a mouthful. So it's two fractions where you've got a multiplication symbol in between them or a division symbol. I know I've mastered my learning. This is our success criteria when I've learned how to combine the numerators and denominators of two fractions multiplied together, and to simplify a single fraction after combining the two fractions, and then transform a question from division to multiplication by flipping and multiplying. Before we start that, let's just recap quickly how this stuff works. So if I'm multiplying, if I'm doing multiplication of fractions, then it might be something like 2/3 times by 4/5. So how do I simplify that? I multiply the numerators. So I do 2 times 4 on the top to get 8. I multiply the denominators. 3 times 5 gives me 15. And then I check to see if I can simplify from there. With division, we flip and multiply to change it to a fraction. So let's just say we had 2/3 divided by 4/5. Then what we would do is change this to a multiplication and flip the second term. Notice the one that we flip is always the one after the symbol, the second one. Okay, so that becomes 2/3 times by 5/4. And then we can just repeat the process we learned. And that multiplying the tops would give me 10, and the bottom will give me 12. But this time, 10/12, that can be changed to 5/6 to simplify it. Let's try some algebraic fractions. Number 1, 3x over 4 times by 2x over 9. So to combine these, we can simply multiply the tops and then multiply the bottoms. So multiply the numerators, you get 3x times by 2x. So you do 3x times by 2x, and so you get 6x squared. So I've just multiplied those two on the top together. Then on the denominator, I do 4 times 9, gives me 36. And now I see if I can simplify any further. I know that 6 divided by 36, 6 goes into both, so that will give me 6/36 is the same as 1/6. Now, if you can't do that thinking quickly, you can literally type 6/36 in your calculator, and out will pop 1/6. And so you can just replace that with 1/6 and rewriting the prime numeral. There's nothing to cancel with that. And we know we don't have to write the 1 there, so we can just write x squared over 6. Perfect. Let's do one more multiplication. Doing the numerators again here. I've got 2ab divided by 3 times by 6/2b. So numerators multiplying together will give me 12ab. The denominators, 3 times 2b gives me 6b. Now we see if we can cancel 12/6. That's the same thing as 2/1. So we 2/1. Now the pronumerals, that b is going to cancel with that b. So I'm just left with an a on the numerator on the top. And so it's 2a/1, which is just 2a. Fantastic. So the process is multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then simplify. So there's our process. Now, division is pretty similar, but we've got that one additional step at the start where we need to flip and change it into multiply. So in question 3 here, I'm going to rewrite this as 3x over 4 times by, so it's our multiplication, and we flip, which one? The second one. So it's going to be 2 over 9x. Now follow our previous process. Multiplying the numerators gives me 6x. Multiplying the denominators gives me 36x. And now, we need to cancel off if we can. So 6 over 36, we've seen that one fraction before, that's 1 over 6. And then the x's will cancel, one on the top, one on the bottom. So I'm just left with 1 over 6. Excellent. So on our previous slide, we had those 3 steps. All we're doing is we're adding an additional step at the top to flip and multiply. So question 4, let's try this one. Let's change it first. So by changing it, we're going to have 3x squared over 8y5. So I'm rewriting the first one the same. Now timesing 4y's on the top because it was on the bottom. These two are just flipping. And now 15y x cubed, on the bottom. We're going to combine them now. So on the top, we've got 12x squared y. On the bottom, 8 times 15. Put it in your calculator if you're not sure. But 2 times 15 is 30, so that's going to be 120 altogether over x cubed y to the 5. 12 over 120. Now for simplifying, 12 over 120, that's the same thing as 1 over 10. Pro numerals, there's 2 x's on the top, 3 on the bottom. So I can take 2 off the top and 2 off the bottom. So it goes down from 3 to 1. So I just write an x on its own on the bottom. And now with the y's, I've got 1 on the top and there's 5 on the bottom. So take 1 off that and it'll become a 4. So it'll be y4 on the bottom. Okay. So we've now simplified it and we've followed our process to flip and multiply. One last question left, question 5. In question 5, I'm just going to alert you to something you can do if you would choose to, though following the process on the previous 2 slides will always work. What you can do is you can notice before you're multiplying that you can actually cancel off common factors from the top and the bottom. Because you're combining the tops and the bottoms, you're just joining those things together and they're already separated by multiplication symbols. And so we can actually just cancel at this point. So you could follow our previous process and it would go like this. 9a squared b4, combining the tops. 6a squared b squared, combining the bottoms, then you'd cancel. 9 over 6 gives you, as a fraction, 3 over 2. Simplified. The a's cancel. 2 of the b's go from the top and 2 from the bottom. So it leaves me b squared on the top. There's my final answer. Or you could just start cancelling straight from the question. So looking in here, you can already see that we're going to end up with a 9 over 6. So you could just recognize already that 9 over 6 is going to become 3 over 2. And then you cancel something on the top with something on the bottom. Doesn't matter that it's across this multiplication symbol. Still do it. And then b squared and 2 off the bottom, 2 off the top. And so we landed with the same answer as we had before. So you can work straight from the question when there's a multiplication symbol there. Okay, so today we've been learning about simplifying expressions that have multiple fractions separated by a multiplication and division or division symbol. And we combine them and simplify them. Good luck with your questions.